What's up, everybody? Welcome to a different kind of episode for the Deeply Graphic Designcast. We are on the road, and today we're not in the studio. We're at the Natural Products Expo West here in Anaheim, California. It's one of the largest gatherings of natural food, beverage, cosmetic, you name the brand in that space, and they're here ready to take on the world. There are thousands of companies, thousands of products, and thousands of entrepreneurs who have risked it all for an idea. And I've been coming to this for around 8 years now, sometimes with clients. Sometimes I've been fortunate enough to bring a ton of students here as well. And this year I am just walking the floor as a curious creative. And every time I come here, I'm reminded of something so important. Things like this show, it is a living laboratory for branding. Every aisle is packed with decisions. You've got packaging decisions, signage decisions, naming decisions, booth decisions, positioning decisions as well, you name it. Some brands, well, they get it right immediately, and some are still obviously trying to figure it out. But you spend a lot of time behind your desk, behind your screen. It's time to get out there and look and see how these brands are doing in real life. That's what I love about doing these kinds of things. It's an amazing show to come to. I'm often reminded that sometimes I'm probably one of the only designers at a show like this. You meet founders who risked everything to launch a product. You hear the stories behind these brand names, and you see trends forming in real time. And if you pay attention, you walk away with ideas that no Pinterest board could ever give you behind your screen. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to walk the floor, talk to real brands, and hear directly from people building these products. We'll talk packaging, brand storytelling, trends they're seeing in the market, and what it actually takes to stand out in a room like this. So let's do it, and let's talk to some of these brands and see what they have to say. Just set it on you. Oh, this is perfect. You got it.
I love it.
All right, Caitlin, tell us a little bit about Lesser Evil and your brand, the evolution.
Yeah.
Any advice to designers out there in this space?
Yeah, so Lesser Evil's big kind of mission is we're trying to renovate the pantry. So we're looking for brands that kind of need an injection of better ingredients and joy, and trying to find those and create this better, happier version. So everything's centered around Homer, who's our guru character. We kind of say he's like Mr. Potato Head. His look changes based on the product attributes and all of that stuff. We've always just been about like bold, bright, joyful. Snacking's not serious, and it shouldn't be treated so. So that's kind of how we've just like built that from like the ground up.
My best question for you would be, how do you guys manage you have a mixture of busyness and minimalist quite well.
Yeah.
What's your secret in that?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of test and learn. We've always really tested. I'm lucky enough to have an incredible design team in-house. So we have 5 designers on staff who build all of our packaging. It's a very collaborative process. And so we kind of play around, see what's in the field, and create something that feels like it's a little bit different and will stand out on shelf.
Yeah. Do you guys do much as far as like competitive analysis, or do you really want to like go your own route?
We do. I would say we definitely look to see what's out there. I think when we initially kind of launched the popcorn as a good example, we decided to go a very like cream white background, which is kind of the antithesis of like the bright boldness of the space, because there was so much of that in the popcorn category. So I think we're able to with our popcorn, because of the colors that we use as the accents, and the characters still stand out. But on a cream background, it just kind of doesn't seem like it would make sense necessarily to like pop within the space. Yeah.
And even just in the bigger broad picture, what do you see as the future of branding, packaging, consumer goods?
I mean, I think there's a big like go back to nostalgia, and like people are really looking for things like seeking comfort and finding things that feel like what they used to have in their youth, but like a little bit more of like an upgrade. So that's what we've been trying to achieve.
That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Introduce yourself. Tell us about Levels.
I'm Paige. I'm the senior art director at Levels.
Awesome.
I've been in the company about 4.5 years.
Okay.
So I've seen where we started and where we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any questions?
What do you find is the biggest challenge in kind of standing out in such an amazing, huge marketplace?
Well, it's just the protein category is very similar.
Yeah.
It's kind of Jim Broy, black canisters. So we wanted to do something that was a little bit, more welcoming.
Yeah.
For the everyday person.
Yeah.
And produce a product not only that visually looks clean and artificial free, but actually is. So that was kind of the approach we took. Is just kind of go against the grain.
Yeah.
And so we actually created this campaign that's behind us that talks about like.
So represented 9.
It's called Down the Gutters. It's a revolution led by Sir Bovine Cowley here.
Love it.
And he's basically the revolutionary leader against artificial protein.
Nice.
So that's the story we've created, and that's what we're kind of going with.
That's cool. Is that fairly new, or did you?
It just launched.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's
so
great.
A commercial spot just launched probably on Friday. So now this is the new kind of like world we're entering. Yeah. Really
What do you think overall is the biggest new trend you see coming down in the future for branding, packaging for brands like yourself?
I mean, just being a little bit more unique. You know, like back in the day, everyone kind of stripped down to like a clean approach.
Yes.
And I think now everything looks the same.
Yeah.
So it's coming up with something unique that's maybe a little bit more personal in the branding, a little bit more hand done. I think with everything being obviously AI focused these days, making sure that there is a feel of some realism still.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You don't want to lose that. But the AI game is definitely not going anywhere. So
I agree.
You better jump on the ship.
Good. Good words.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
Hornbill's Hornbills. I'm Liz. I work on our marketing team at Hornbill's Hornbills. This is our first Expo West. We're so excited to be here. We're showing off all of our protein candy. So our full-size bars have 10 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar.
Awesome.
We're unveiling our minis, where 4 of these equals 10 grams of protein.
Nice. So I'm curious to know how you guys differentiate yourself brand-wise on shelves.
Absolutely.
What's like the core behind the brand?
Absolutely. So we believe that we can make better candy, honestly. With 10 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar, we want to be your next favorite sweet treat. So we have that functional benefit of the protein, 0 grams of sugar, no guilt, no shame, just enjoying candy again.
And how does that translate to your design and what you guys want to see in the finals?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at our new packaging, you can really see that we're dialing up those like indulgent, delicious visuals. We want people to know that we're candy. The protein is there. We know that there's such a benefit and consumers are looking for it. But on packaging, we want you to see just how delicious and how much of a sweet treat that we can be for you.
What do you say is the next big wave you see coming in packaging and branding for consumer good products?
That's so interesting. I think protein and other functional benefits are now starting to become the expectation and not a value add, and so it's really nice for us that we have the protein there, because the candy aisle kind of sorely lacks protein, candidly. So we're excited to be that protein solution in the candy aisle in the sweet treat space.
Do you find like I'm a big fan of it because I don't go out and buy candy just because of either macros or lack of like the balance, but now having this, it's a great alternative. What do your customers thank you for, I guess, the most?
I mean, exactly that. They do thank us for the macros, but they also thank us for the great taste. This really does taste like protein, or does taste like candy.
Yeah.
And so I think people are really blown away by how delicious it is and how much it can fit their macros both at the same time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Yeah. All right, we're here at Cobb. Sherry, how are you? Good to meet you.
Good, so nice to meet you. I'm excited
awesome.
to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Cobb.
So Cobb is a corn-free popcorn brand. We do pop sorghum, which is this ancient grain. It's similar to quinoa. And our whole brand ethos is about going back to the basics. So it's very 70s, colorful, like started with a mom in her kitchen popping ancient grains for her son who has a corn allergy.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and so that is what our whole brand is based out of. We're making it fun, and I do the social media marketing, and so I identify trends, I put together videos, and I just collaborate with other brands as well, and just see what's happening.
What do you find, this is great because I'd love to talk to you more about the social media side of it, but
representing a brand through design, through colors, through all those things, have you found certain winning formulas that kind of work for you guys that you use over and over again, or are you kind of just like trying different things to see what hits any specific time?
Yeah. At first we were trying different things, and then we brought along a creative agency, and they really established our branding. So we have set colors and fonts, like as a lot of brands do, that we work with. And so again, making it colorful and just putting our own stamp and uniqueness on it.
Has that helped you guys kind of feel a little bit more established? Are you feeling a lot more comfortable with good design?
Yeah,
as you go on to socials and do that?
Yeah, so branding is like super important, especially in the CPG space when you have like a million other brands. I mean, we're one of the only ones doing sorghum, but like if you think popcorn brands, there's like so many out there. So like what makes it different? And that is the branding, how you identify it on the shelves. And so we think that these bright colors really help with that.
That's so great. Cool. Grab a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for stopping by.
My pleasure.
All right. Clean protein soda, Quip. Yo, Dave, tell us a little bit about your brand here, man.
Yeah, so Quip is a clean protein soda. We wanted to create a drink that a protein drink that people could drink in one setting.
Yeah.
A lot of the proteins sodas that are out now, they're 25 grams, really heavy, hard to finish.
Yeah.
And then we wanted something that kids could drink and have as an accessory. They're walking around junior highs and high schools with their energy drinks.
Yeah.
You know, we all have younger kids. We wanted them to have something healthy and that they could feel good about.
Good.
That's kind of a social
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what these do. They there's no guilt in drinking these.
Yeah.
You can have kids as young as 1 year old drink them and they love them.
Really?
They love them.
That's great, dude.
So the youth is all about them. Adults like us, we have our energy drinks still, but during the day you want a little more fizz, drink one of these. Had a lot of different names, a lot of different ideas. We generally are fairly quippy.
Yeah.
We tease each other quite a bit.
That's where it came from, huh?
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Love
so
that.
When we came up with that idea, it kind of just was like, that's it.
Good.
So, and then we have quite a few names for a lot of future drinks
Sure.
that are in the queue that very quippy, very fun,
That's like your brand ethos, right? You're like quippy.
Exactly.
It makes sense, right?
Quippy,
Yeah, and you can own that word. Like that's the hardest part sometimes is finding the word that you could truly own. It might not even have to be your name brand, but in this case, you got like the double. It is your name, but it means everything you want to kind of like do for the future, right?
100%.
Yeah. And then what made you kind of decide to go very artistic, very high illustrated? What was the kind of thought behind that?
So we wanted to stick out.
Yeah.
We wanted something people would walk by a shelf in a store and say, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
Hey, most people don't really know about the carbonated protein soda world.
Yeah.
It's a new emerging market.
Sure.
Google Trends called it out 2 months ago.
Wow.
They said it's going to be the hottest thing. Most people drink them and they have no idea there's protein in it.
Yeah. What do you think the future here, now that you've been here all day or this week, what do you see the future is as a kind of like branding moving forward and packaging? Have you seen anything that's really stood out that you might want to test one day?
Retailers ask us to get it in their stores.
Good. Yeah.
Really looking forward to that.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, Dave. Guys, I'm here with the group at Giazzi, right? Yeah. This is literally one of my favorite lines of packaging I've seen, and I'm getting to see it for the first time live. Tell me a little bit about what you guys were hoping to do, and as a brand, and even for her, Giada, like what was important to kind of do here, this first line?
So I think for Giada, I think the importance of it is, one, the ingredients, but how do you showcase that Italian culture in such a luxurious and simple way? Because we wanted the packaging to reflect our ingredients and the wellness angle that we're trying to, get to people. So obviously you have the sprawling hand holding all the individual shapes of the pasta. And we wanted it to feel really simplistic. So this really shows that, it's all about tradition, and we have the known as it make pasta. And so we wanted to really showcase that it really is handmade.
Yeah.
So you have the hands in the forefront to show that all of our products are clean, simple, and, amazing and made in Italy.
Yeah.
All of our pasta boxes, we actually got them just resized. So this is a little under a pound. So all of our gluten-free pastas are actually a little bit more than a lot that you find in store. But yeah, so we have our gluten-free pasta boxes. And then we have our traditional.
Regular? Yes.
So they're, they have the same motifs going throughout, but this one is red, just so you can differentiate them a little bit.
Love
and then
that.
obviously the colors, you have the background that's a little bit warmer as well.
Cool.
We just added the windows. So
nice.
they didn't used to have the windows on them.
It does. I can see the difference. Yeah, that's really cool.
So we wanted to really showcase, just because the shapes you can't really find anywhere else.
Yeah.
So we wanted to really show, how different our shapes can be.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's such good use of negative space as well. If you look at you're not overcrowding it, and it's to me it feels like there's a confidence, an elevated vibe with that. I'm assuming what kind of core brand principles do you guys hope the brand follows and kind of puts out there to the group, to the consumer?
I think it's just clean, simple Italian ingredients. And
Nice.
so I think our boxes, they are simplistic, and there is a lot of use of the negative space, but I think the statement would be the gold foiling and the use of there's not many colors. So you go around a food expo like this and you see a lot of the bright, the bold, a lot of colors being used, and we found ourselves being kind of in the minority here. So
I know.
there's only 3 colors, and we've heard, the entire time we've been here, people are gravitated toward our packaging, and I think it's because it is so simplistic. And so I think at core, our ethos for the company is simple, clean, and simple ingredients from Italy. And so
Amazing.
we wanted the packaging to match that.
Where can everybody find them now?
So we're on
throughout the country?
Giozzi.com.
Yes.
We're also on Amazon if you like Prime.
I'm a big fan. Yes.
In the California area, we're in Erewhon, we're in
that's right.
Gelson's, and then we're expanding into a lot of other retailers.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Jam-packed jams.
Yeah.
So it's just started with opening our refrigerator and seeing Welch's and Smucker's, and they're wonderful brands for certain people, but those who want more than, essentially sugar, we thought there could be a better product. So ours has 100% organic berries, 0 added sugar, and I guess the biggest point of difference is 8 grams of collagen protein per serving and 6 to 7, depending on the SKU, grams of prebiotic fiber, mainly coming from inulin.
Perfect.
But
I love it. You picked the perfect name. It's jam-packed of all this good stuff.
A little bit about that too.
Can you tell us a little bit about even name choice when you approached branding? What were you looking for? How did you get to this amazing kind of end result?
Well, look, being a 30-year ad vet, the name is everything. Even when you submit, there's a lot of submitting to award shows and advertising, and what you call the project or program sometimes determines how much buzz and how sticky it is. So we started with the name Jammed, and it was jammed, and then we were going to say jammed with, boom, 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 boom. And we ran it by friends and family, and they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then the more we talked about it,
gotta be careful.
They were like, "Hey, it's jam-packed with this, jam-packed with that." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And it really came out of. It didn't come from this moment of brilliance sitting in a corner with a pen and pad of paper. And we went to a trademark attorney, and he said, "Oh, you're never going to get that. Of course, you're not going to get that." He says, "Take it now. It's open."
Wow.
So
and that's without the E, correct?
No. It's it's with. Some people think, "Oh, you must have not been able to get with E." No, we have both.
Good. Okay.
So
smart.
we trademarked it. The name of the company is actually Jam Packed Jams with an E.
Perfect.
But we do business without the E because it's so much cooler.
It's cooler. Yeah. Talk about the design, and who you worked with.
Yes.
What kind of stuff did you want?
Let's talk about that. So again, as an ad guy, you would think me using AI or going to a site like Fiverr would be blasphemy, and it did not come from that. But I just giving you the backstory.
I was like, I'm out of here.
No. But I do want to talk about that because a lot of my marketing friends do turn to that, and it's kind of shameful still. So whatever gets you the best results.
I get it. Hey, but everyone has a different budget.
But after 30 years in marketing in New York, Chicago, and Minneapolis, I know a lot of designers, but I really wanted to separate myself from the business, just start over. I didn't want to bring people that I knew in the industry in. So I'll be very honest, I did start on Fiverr, and I did say, hey, let's just see what happens with some gentle exploration with these really, cheap Fiverr folks who are doing it for an obscenely low price, and we got junk back. Just junk back. And it was actually my wife who said, yeah, you know what, in a Facebook group, she saw a few designers that caught her eye. I looked at their portfolios. I was like, this is the guy. We reached out to him. He's like, I don't normally do, projects like this. And he did the proper, he gave us the whole inspiration, the backstory, which got me to this, which got me to this. Sometimes that can be long-winded and a little bit of unnecessary dog and pony show. In this case, it was perfect. But the brief was make it fun.
Yeah.
We already have enough good stuff in the back that we don't have to look like we belong on a pharmacy shelf. Anti-medicinal, premium, but fun. Yeah. Somewhere between a candy brand and a premium cognac, and this is where we landed.
It's really done well, and I like the reverse out kind of in a way where you've got all that color kind of right against the black cap.
Yeah, they did what's called a double hit of black. It's very easy for this to become grayish, brownish if you're not careful. But we just did a 4-color print. We didn't have to do any spot color.
Beautiful. Killer.
I do want to talk about inspiration because I, again, as a marketing guy, I know the backstory on RX bars. How they do that beautiful list of all the ingredients. So I didn't want to steal from them. I was like, I said to the designer, make it look like this, and he said it's not going to work. And I said it will work, and he said it won't, and it didn't. Doing the laundry list didn't work, but I think he made it work really nicely. If you look closely, it's jam packed with. And then you add strawberries and you get collagen, so you kind of get the whole.
You got a little bit of metallic reflection on there too.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was another thing. I wanted initially to use like a matte or satin. I thought there was something really classy about it. Doesn't work well with a refrigerated item like jam. It gets messy.
Yeah. That's right.
And some condensation will destroy it immediately. We serve this cold, so we've been letting it just sit in water.
Good.
And this gloss finish doesn't wilt. So.
Gotcha. Good job, man. Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your brand.
For sure. My name is Luke. I'm the founder of Course Record, and we created the next generation of sport drink here. So our whole idea is when you're on the golf course and that beverage cart rolls around, you're either getting alcohol, you're getting a sport drink with too much sugar, or you're getting an energy drink with too much caffeine. So we made something that's wellness meets performance.
Gotcha.
And it's got a big golfer on the can, but we're kind of being enjoyed by everybody. From athletes to pilots to surgeons, everybody that wants to feel dialed in.
Good.
So
your buddy was saying a great point, like everyone's done normal, but what you've done is you put like this layer of some specialty, call it golf, even people that aspire to do golf, that don't play golf. Are you finding that being kind of a nice competitive edge in your brand and your sales and you name it, just getting new clients, new customers?
Yeah, there's literally 400 drinks at a show like this that are clean energy drinks with generic branding. And our whole idea is let's be all in on golf. Even though non-golfers can enjoy the product, when you're trying to choose how you're going to set up your brand, it's much better to stand out to someone than to stand out to no one. And a lot of brands say they target everyone. So a lot of attention to detail went into our packaging, our branding. So our target market, it would jump out and stand out like a sore thumb.
Amazing, dude. I want to get a close-up of one of your cans here, but let me see.
Good coming out of this mouth.
I know. Tell me a little bit about what you guys designed with this. What were you hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, so come on, is it okay? Go in. So with the Course Record can, there's a few things that were super important. First of all, as you can see, this scorecard.
Yes.
I remember it's probably 3 a.m. when I thought that we should put a scorecard on a beverage. That was a great moment because it's never been done before, and any golfer will see that from a mile away and they'll immediately know this is geared towards them. It's not offensive to non-golfers. We did, with the brand name itself, a lot of attention to detail went into even how you have the letters. We found a font where the letters of Course Record could perfectly stack up on top of each other. Little design features that we found are fun. I mean, you see a little attention to detail from our bullet points actually being golf balls to, if you can see, the actual texture on the can is a golf ball silhouette there. In the scorecard, the colors are the different tees that you might play on the golf course. The golfer itself is a combination of a few different pros in terms of the type of swing. The flavor name, Club Twirling Blue Raz. We had a lot of fun with the naming of the product. We went all in on golf while still making someone something that could be enjoyed by everyone. And I spent 100 hours on the design of this myself as an amateur before bringing in a professional.
Good.
So a lot of attention to detail, knowing that our number one marketing attribute, even more than taste, is what the can looks like. So we wanted to make sure that would stand out.
What now that you've gone through that process, what would you look for in, or what would you recommend someone to say if you're looking for a graphic designer to do your branding? What would you recommend them look for in them? What did you find your designer did great?
So one thing that I really like doing with the graphic designer is how many iterations we came up with. That's really important. You're not going to nail it on one iteration.
Yeah.
There was things that we accomplished in this design that the graphic designer and I didn't know if we could.
Yeah.
So it's to try a lot of different things. If we're trying to think about a color of a particular can, for one of our flavors, we probably looked at 100 or more different shades before we found the right color. And then all that ties together between the color and the brand name. So we tied that all together, and I would say it's important. Some designers might not like this, but I think this produced the best result for us.
Yeah.
We had some real-time design that happened between the designer who shared his screen on Zoom.
There you go.
And myself as the founder and the brand, the brand ambassador, because we were able to do things in real time and massage the details in a way that it might have drove the graphic designer nuts, but I honestly think we can both sit back and we say we made the best product.
Yeah.
Because we paid attention to all the details. If you make 100 microscopic improvements, it turns into one big change.
There you go. Perfect. Sounds like you learned a good lesson there. That's awesome, dude.
We did.
That's
it's moving
great.
in the right direction. Nothing
That's
is
awesome.
perfect. And now when we get into retail, there's going to be a whole bunch of new changes.
Where can people find you guys hopefully soon? Where are you going to be?
Best place to find us is to go on our website, www.drinkcourserecord.com.
Perfect.
We ship online direct to consumer. We're on Amazon Prime, which is even less
better.
clicks.
Love that.
We're in Golf Galaxy, Dick's Sporting Goods, and hundreds of golf courses.
Love it, man. Thanks, dude.
Appreciate the chat.
Yeah.
Brand consultant and design strategist, creative director for 15 years in the food and beverage industry. I'm here because this is a Super Bowl of packaging design, CPG, and innovation.
Yeah. What did you see that first kind of stood out? Design-wise, brand-wise, maybe even like packaging vessels, like anything new and innovative that was a unique thing?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot at the show. There's probably, I tracked 70 redesigns, and that doesn't even include new brands that have branding created for them. Hippies just did a big refresh.
Saw that.
I think a good thing to learn there is like the brand was always yellow and they maintained that equity, but they brought a lot more character. And it's always fun to look at it change and reverse engineer what was the brief, why did they do that, what are they trying to accomplish by it. Hippies, in my opinion, needs to be more fun, more like a Cheeto. A little less elevated and more flavorful. So they brought in product imagery, more center. They have a character that's a little bit bigger.
Kind of sneaking in a little bit.
Typography. And I think you see a lot of that in the industry because as Gen Z has a big influence, you're seeing more colors, more character, more funky type. But the downside of that is everything starts to also look the same.
You got to have a character that's almost like never seen before, but still familiar.
Yeah, like Liquid Death.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. What about like trends that you saw outside of like individual brands? Did you see like I've been seeing a lot of like obviously color blocking, getting your attention, right? And seeing these brands like evolve. It's neat to see that they're getting data to know how to change things up. You know, and are you seeing a lot of that too?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the category. I think with like the advent of Poppy and Olipop, you see the rainbow approach where each pack changes color from SKU to SKU. Feels more flexible against the legacy heritage brands. Goodles is another great example. But you're right, you are seeing a lot of brands also understand, if we put all our products in the same color, we accrue more of a brand block at shelf. Hippies being a prime example of that. And more entrepreneurial brands are starting to re-embrace that rather than just do the cool, flexible, colorful thing. I'm seeing a lot more of like serif typography. You get a lot of the 80s and 90s.
It started right with these guys.
Chobani.
They brought back serifs, dude.
I think though that like you're seeing a lot of like the New Balance vibe and era come back, particularly in a lot of marketing materials, but it will continue to be big as like the next it trend versus we're coming from a world where there was a lot of like soft, round, characterful type. You're seeing a little more elevation and sophistication and retroism come into serif type.
There you go. What was the most rebellious thing you saw here? That you, good or bad, but like they took a chance?
There was a brand in the Fresh Ideas tent called Cream of the West.
Oh, okay.
And they used a giant oil painting of like a Western scene, like a girl in a cowboy hat, on the packaging.
Oh, I think I saw that.
And so each one changed characters, and that was just like really fresh and interesting. And I also think like the Western vibe is kind of coming cool.
We just saw it on that one over there too, right? Yeah. Same idea.
Cowboys. So I think that was maybe one of the more rebellious or unexpected things I saw aesthetically.
Yeah. Did you see anything that was? One thing I have noticed here, it's kind of refreshing, is not seeing anything that felt too AI. Like, you know what I mean? It has it. I feel like this is such a big league thing. I've talked to a lot of people and they said they used it.
Yep.
But it's so nice to see that none of the slop has kind of. There might be one or two, but I'm just looking at the ones that I'm like going, wow, great successful job of finding ways to use it, but it still has to look crafted by human and all that.
Yeah. I think the slop tends to show up more in marketing and on social. They're
Socials.
creating content around it, but you can generate something, but to get it to go to print production, actually have vector artwork and things that you need to do separations with is difficult. I also randomly last night saw something that apparently the Supreme Court or somebody ruled that you cannot trademark and own AI-generated imagery.
I saw that,
which is a big boost for human-made elements and artifacts. I think that protects brands from falling victim to the ease and convenience of AI. So
true. Like again, I feel like it's like it keeps it in the development stage. Kind of like the mood boarding stage.
It's a tool for founders to get ideas out. They need to kind of see it. They just have to not get wed to it.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the protein supplement one that is using a cow as their mascot, and they had all the framed
levels.
Yes, levels. They had interviewed their person.
His team was very visionary. They're cool. Yeah, they did the video campaign. I don't know if you saw.
No. That. Oh, yeah. I think it was playing in the background.
Okay. Yeah. So it ties into what they've done.
Exactly.
But none of the packaging is AI, so they're using it again as a marketing tool to accentuate the brand world without making it slop.
Yeah, right. What keeps you excited about this industry and everything you do for it?
I mean, packaging is the most fun because it's the only form of competitive design.
Yeah.
Any entrepreneur can go up against the biggest brands in the world if they get their product on shelf and use design to change people's trial behavior, how they want to spend their hard-earned money. And, packaging is so fun because it's so tactile and tangible. And in our increasingly digital world, this show is a physical one, and it's crazy. A reminder of just like how much impact design can have in real people's lives.
Yeah, perfect, man. Thanks.
Shows like Expo West are a powerful reminder that design doesn't live just in our computers and on our screens. It lives out there on these shelves, in the hands of consumers, and in the passion of people building these brands. So if you're a designer watching this, I encourage you to do something simple. Get out from behind your desk once in a while. Walk a trade show, talk to founders, look at packaging, listen to the stories, because inspiration rarely shows up in your inbox. It usually shows up when you go out looking for it. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do some more soon. Take care.